We have a lot to talk about. Welcome. I'm so happy you're both here today.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Well, you're very welcome, Paul. I want to talk a little bit also about your background. I'm just going to give a quick introduction here, and then we'll get into discussing it in detail. But you've been in Palm Desert now for over 20 years. Mm-hmm. You're originally from San Pedro. I know San Pedro very well.
And you pronounce it correctly
as
well.
Yes, that's right. Not Pedro, Pedro.
That's right.
I used to live in Palos Verdes, but spent a lot of time in San Pedro. Really liked it. And you moved to the desert originally to work in a Neil Diamond tribute band playing keyboards at the Indian Wells Hyatt Grand Champions Hotel. What fun that must have been.
It was crazy. I was doing a lot of work out of LA at that time, but a friend of mine who was the Neil Diamond impersonator took a gig down here at the Hyatt Grand Champion. And it kind of stuck. We did the gig for quite a while, and I fell in love with the desert and just decided to stay at that point.
Well, and you've done very well because certainly you went over to College of the Desert where you were hired as a staff pianist.
I was.
And you were given the opportunity to work as assistant musical director. Let's talk about some of the productions that you've worked with in the beginning there. What
at COD?
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the very first things I did was it's a light opera piece by Menotti called Amal and the Night Visitors.
I remember that.
Yeah, that one goes back to probably 1990. And after that, I did Annie. I did Nonsense. I did Into the Woods. I did Evita. Oh gosh, I'm running.
You did it all. Well, you did Shenandoah.
I did Shenandoah. Howard Keel. Yep, Howard Keel was
Wizard
in
of
that.
Oz. Jesus Christ Superstar. That was always one of my favorites.
Fantastic.
So you've done a lot. And then you also did something at the Palm Canyon Theater.
I actually opened the Palm Canyon Theater as their
Did you
musical
really?
director. I did, yeah, and I can't tell you how many. I guess that's probably now 15 years ago, but they opened the theater with the show Desert Song, another opera piece. And yeah, I was their first musical director. I went on to do, after that, I did the Anything Goes by Cole Porter and Fiddler on the Roof.
Well, that's terrific. I want to talk to Lisa a little bit now because, Lisa, you're the choreographer for the Michelle Gaines tribute. And you were born and raised in Indio, so you're a California gal, that's for sure. And you also are working as a dance instructor at a studio in Palm Desert besides your choreography work. But I want to talk to you about your College of the Desert experience because you started when you were 18.
I did. I didn't start dancing until I was 18, and I started taking classes at COD as a PE requirement, not even knowing that I could dance and
Isn't it funny how things happen?
It was. Luckily for me, Michelle was the teacher, and she saw something in there and encouraged me to continue with the dance program there.
Now, what is this, the college dance company called? Company One?
Company One. That was back in the 80s. The dance program, we needed a chance to perform, so Michelle formed this company of core dancers. There's probably 8 of us, and we were called Company One. And we performed original pieces and Michelle's pieces doing dance concerts at COD.
Well, that's terrific. Now, that leads us right to the Michelle Gaines tribute and the big fundraising event at College of the Desert, which is, what is the date, Paul?
The date is February 24th, and it's at the McCallum Theatre, and it is a 7 p.m. performance.
The thing that I want to emphasize, too, this is a one-time shot. They can't come back. If they miss it this night, they're going to miss it. And I tell you, I am so impressed by what has been done in the past. I know this year is really going to be huge.
It's quite an evolution of where the show has actually come from. This is our 4th One Enchanted Evening. It started off as basically a tribute for Man About Town, which was a fundraising event that the College of the Desert Foundation put on. The next year after that, it went to a choral concert at the McCallum, and the following year, which is last year, it was a book musical. The producer Cameron Smith actually created a book musical about the development of a child growing up and going through school and education. It was a great show. It was a great concept.
To see Jerry Patton.
Yeah, exactly. Jerry Patton was on stage. He was one of our performers. So this year we decided to do something and mix it up even a little more, and we're paying tribute to 2 women in the arts. One of our very own local person is Michelle Gaines, and for those who don't know who Michelle is, she was on staff for probably over 20 years, I'm guessing, Lisa. At the College of the Desert as a dance instructor. Well, this last March, Michelle lost her battle to a dreadful disease called scleroderma.
Horrible.
So we're paying tribute to her work, her choreography, her direction. production and all the stuff that she did. I mean, she was a huge influence at College of the Desert. So it's time to give back and pay tribute to her. And at the same time, we're also trying to raise the awareness of a scholarship that's in her name, and that's really what the event is about for us as far as that portion of the show. Yeah.
Yes. Now, how have you been influenced by Michelle in terms of doing the choreography for this in a tribute? That has to be really a special thing for you to work on.
It is. We're going back and we're trying to recreate as much of her personal choreography for these pieces as we possibly can. And in fact, we're bringing back a piece that we did in 1992 that she originally choreographed, and are now adding not only my children to the piece, but her own daughters performing in the piece. So it really is, we feel like she's guiding us in a way to make this piece really come and be something special.
Well, I'm sure she is. As you said, she was very influential. She was very well liked, and certainly it's a fitting tribute. Now, you're also going to have someone else.
We are.
Stage.
The first act of the show is the Michelle Gaines tribute or celebration. Then the second act, we're presenting a concert with a huge live orchestra starring Donna Theodore. And Donna has and owns a show called A Date with Judy, which is a tribute show to the late, great Judy Garland. And we're really excited about this. That's a show, I have to tell you, that I've worked on several times. And we've always done it in smaller venues. Church halls or just small little theaters. And we've always done it with a small band. And every time we've performed that show, I get excited because I think it's such a great piece of music and material. And the fact that Donna owns it is, just a bonus for us. So I've always thought to myself, wouldn't it be great to put this thing on the McCallum stage? And here's our big opportunity.
There you go.
And it's going to happen. So I'm very excited about that.
Well, I can understand that. Now, Lisa, I want to just mention also that you've gotten a lot of awards yourself. You were given the Desert League Award for Best Female Dancer in a Musical and Best Choreographer for a ballet, and you met your husband while dancing in a show for the college. He was a musician. And how long have you been married now?
We've been married for 22 years now.
Well, you see that I can remember when my kids were small, and my youngest said, well, I think I'm going to get involved in theater because you can meet a lot of girls that way. This was a very good indication of it. Now, so Donna Theodore is going to be on in the second half.
She's on the second half, right? Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And will she take up the whole second half? What else is? We don't want you to give it away, but what else can we expect?
Basically, the second act is really just a live pops concert. Basically, the first act is more of a mix and variety of material, and again, paying tribute to Michelle for all that she's done. So it's basically more a variety show. The first act. The second act is going to be treated more like a live pops concert.
So of course, it's going to be dancing naturally, but there'll be singing and there'll be groups and solos
in the first act.
In the first act.
In the first act, we're going to have soloists, we have ensemble people, we have dancers, and the really cool thing about the whole Michelle Gaines tribute is most of the people that are coming, well, in fact, all of the people that are on stage have in some way been touched or have worked with Michelle in the past. And they're all doing it,
That's going to be wonderful.
It's exciting.
Not only is it going to be a moving tribute, but it's going to be so much fun and such a wonderful way to honor her. And then from that, we go to this wonderful Judy Garland show. Everyone loves Judy Garland's
the material.
music.
You can't beat the material that she used to sing, so it's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Now, give the date again and how people can get tickets, because I think we should mention that they start at, I believe, $25.
I think
right?
we were trying. I don't have that exact information, but I believe it was $25 is the bottom ticket
I believe
price.
It is $25, but also there are VIP tickets, so that if people want to go to the show, there's going to be a reception on stage afterwards, which is included in that VIP ticket. So give that phone number again.
Let's see. The McCallum Theatre phone number is 760-340-ARTS, 760-340-ARTS, or you can go online at www.mccallumtheatre.com to get your tickets. Again, February 24th, 7 p.m. performance.
That'll be great, and get those tickets because you can get tickets now, so you don't want to miss out on this. And Lisa, I think an interesting fact here that I read is that you performed in the first annual Under the Stars Choreography Festival when it was originally held outside Under the Stars.
Yes, in
I
Palm
never
Desert
knew
Park.
that.
Yes, out there in
the
the
name.
freezing cold Palm Desert Park.
Oh, wow.
Dancing on the outdoor stage.
Concrete stage.
Yeah. And how long has that been going on now?
I believe they just had their 12th year.
Isn't that something?
And so, yeah, it was it's nice to know that.
And it always sells out. I mean, it's very
a great
very
event
popular.
in McCallum, yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Paul, you are also involved with another organization here that I think we should mention because we certainly want to support theater of all kinds. And you're involved with Cabaret Theater West.
Yes.
And what do you do there?
Well, for those who don't know what Cabaret Theater West is, it is Cabaret Theater, I mean, just by the name, it's a cabaret show that involves the elements of theater. So we take numbers from, Broadway musical shows and kind of do cabaret shows that have elements of theatrical elements with costumes and wigs and makeup and choreography and
Now is Les Michael involved in that?
That is not
another one?
That's a separate one.
That's why I want to clarify.
Yeah, Cabaret Theater West actually performs. We're going to be opening, I believe it's January 28th down at the Hyatt Grand Champion.
And who are some of the local people that would be involved
locals
in that?
Are another radio personality, Bonnie Gogalin's in that. We have Charles Herrera in that, Cliff Plummer, Kaylee Smith, Sarah Hagar, and I'm going to be missing some names, and I apologize, but there's a cast.
Okay.
There's a cast. Oh, Mel Oceans as well. So there's a cast of about 9, I believe, in our first opening, and our first show is called Lullaby Broadway, and that is a tribute to Broadway musicals.
And how often is that going to?
That is set on a calendar, and actually, I think the information on that one, you can go to cabarettheaterwest.com, and that one will run 3 weekends, both in January and February, and then we'll be starting the next show, which is Cole Porter, and then in April we'll be doing a show called The Sensational 60s, which is a review of rock and roll of the 60s.
How large is the venue? How many people?
I don't know exactly how many people sit up there, but we're in the upstairs ballroom above the hotel lobby, and I'm going to guess that we can probably put in about 250 people in the audience.
That's great. I love the fact that there's all these little groups that are coming together and getting bigger and bigger at Coachella Valley Repertory, all of them, and Les Michaels. I think we have to keep encouraging that.
I
all
agree.
the things that you do at College of the Desert is absolutely incredible. And Lisa, I want you very quickly to tell the story. What happened, your scariest moment?
My scariest moment.
Refresh
Refresh my memory on that. I've had so many.
Roller skating.
Joseph in the Technicolor Dreamcoat. I had to roller skate in the dark backwards off stage while other performers were hiding under a table, but they were too big and their legs stuck out. So as backwards, I tried not to hit their legs and
you
still
didn't
hit
fall
the
off
wing
the stage.
and not fall off the stage.
The other thing that I liked what you said too is working with the cast. You have several generations of performers, including your own children and students, and this is going to be a great show. And I want to thank you both for being here. I'm looking forward to it, and I'm so pleased that we are sponsoring, one of the sponsors, the only radio sponsor for this event. And I want to thank you for being here, and I know it's going to be fantastic.
Thank you, Jacqueline, and we appreciate your support as well. Thank you.
Thank you. This has been the Jacqueline Bachar Show.